Thank you, everyone. My name is Karl Stoklosa. I'm the CEO of Precisis. We are a neuromodulation company that has a commercially available product in Europe. And I wanted to talk to you about that exciting innovation and a breakthrough in neuromodulation and support for epilepsy patients worldwide. Globally, 50 million people are living with focal epilepsy. And this is despite the fact that there are over 30 different drugs for epilepsy. So this problem is not solved. 3 out of 10 epilepsy patients are what we would call drug resistant. And that means that they are not sufficiently relieved from their symptoms on 2 or more drugs. The consequence of this is really profound. They are living with the ongoing burden of constant uncertainty of the next seizure. They're limited in their professional choices, and their autonomy is limited as well, and suffering social isolation. The Precisis team has built a solution to help these patients reclaim their lives. It's called the EASY system. The EASY system is a CE-marked, low-invasive, implantable neurostimulator that's really redefining one of the key paradigms of neurostimulation, and that is that the clinical effectiveness is related to the invasiveness of the therapy. As the name suggests, the EASY system is really easy from an implant standpoint. It is an electrode array that goes under the skin, on top of the skull, and then a lead implanted and an IPG implanted in the chest. Now, the beauty of that is that you have the ability to then customize to put the electrode over the epileptic focus and therefore give our proprietary customized simulation patterns that work both to suppress and depress the epileptic focus. We also empower and enable the patient with an activator that allows them to, if they are feeling an aura or some sort of a progressive epileptic focus, they can initiate a bolus of stimulation to try and break that epileptic seizure. Our clinical results are highly compelling. Back in 2023, in the JAMA Neurology paper, we published our 6-month data on our study from Europe. That study had 32 patients, and we had a response rate at 6 months of 53%. We've followed those patients out to 2 years, and that response rate has improved to 65%. So this is really profound and really meaningful progression, and very, very common and well documented as part of brain stimulation, that progressive effect that it has. Not only are we solving the problem for a patient and addressing the patient needs, but we also believe we have a solution that also meets the needs of the hospitals or the healthcare systems. One of those is at the time of implant. This is an implant that doesn't require a craniotomy, so it's limited in its invasiveness and its complexity, less severe adverse events at the acute phase, but also long-term reduction in hospitalizations due to seizures or ongoing seizures and so on could really add up and be a significant benefit to the clinician or to the hospitals or the payers over time. So we really see this as a win-win, not only for the patient, but also for hospital systems. We see the potential of this market as quite large and quite sustainable. We see a sustainable market of around 840 million annually, and this is on a SAM. We're only addressing about 8% of the total SAM. So there's really a lot of potential in this market across both Europe and the US, as this data shows. So what is our current status? As I mentioned before, we're commercially available in Europe, and we started in Germany, Austria, Switzerland, and UK in 2023 and 2024 as a real limited launch. We're now moving and ramping up commercial activity. We'll continue to expand carefully in Europe in meaningful markets where we get good reimbursement and good traction. We will also work in the later part of 27 to expand our indication from not only adults into adolescents with the completion of our Easy for You study in Europe. And then, of course, we expect to enter, after our IDE trial is complete, we expect to enter the United States in late 2028, early 2029. From a competitive standpoint, we really balance well, again, this idea of effectiveness versus invasiveness, and it really puts us in a different category. As you can see here from the results of others' responder rates, we match very well, if not better, than most of those already available solutions. And so we really believe we have a meaningful alternative solution that's less invasive, less complex, and with the same or even greater efficacy. The system is well covered from an IP standpoint, the whole portfolio and all relevant aspects of the technology, including the electrode array, as well as the IPG, and our proprietary firmware software algorithms that drive the stimulation. So all of our focus and energy is now on that, taking advantage of that growth in commercialization and operationalization of the commercial activities. So we are working to, again, focus on the US study and get that completed. We're working on the expansion of the indication in Europe, and we are also working very diligently on a next generation product. This next generation product will be head-based entirely and will also be a closed loop system, which will be a big benefit to patients. So this is really a very outstanding success story as far as I see from a medtech neurology standpoint. To go from 2015 in a 10-year period from basically a feasibility concept and idea through the animal phase, through the clinical phase, all the way to a commercial product. This is really, really best in class, and they've done it. The team did a great job getting us to this stage, and we want to use that momentum as we go into this next phase. A little bit more on the clinical trial. This is the design of the clinical trial. It will be our first sham-controlled, randomized clinical trial in the United States, and it's currently been submitted, and we're under active discussions and review process with the FDA. We would have an endpoint at the end of 6 months, sham versus the treatment arm, and then we'll follow all those patients in a treatment arm that continues for another 12 months. The team has an extensive background in neuromodulation, but also in medical device in general, with over 300 years of experience across the 35 people on the team. And this is a little bit on the team. We're based in Heidelberg, Germany, and we have a very diverse and widespread team. So the ask, and we're looking for people to join us on this great journey to help these patients with a less invasive and effective process. We're looking to raise $35 million in a Series B. This is allocated to the IDE as well as commercialization activities and product and manufacturing enhancements and improvements. And with that, I really thank you for your time, and be more than willing to answer any questions, and hope you can join us on this journey to help these patients for a better solution. Thank you very much.